Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Becca, and today we're building this cute family home, starter family home in Oasis Springs. I have gone into an Oasis Springs kind of moment, so bear with me. This house has been a kind of a little bit of inspiration because I was in a mood to make smaller houses on smaller lots because I have been building a lot on big lots, and sometimes it does take a lot of time, sometimes it doesn't, but I kind of like to do my builds in phases, and I don't like to build like the same thing over and over again, especially if it's like a big family home and I really like bigger builds. But I wanted to do some smaller builds, especially because it's fun to practice a little bit your creativity on how you would make a smaller house and put a whole bunch of living things for the house to actually work. So that's technically why I kind of built this one, even though this house is not actually that small. This house ends up having 2 bedrooms, a living area, a really nice kitchen, a bathroom, and also a little place to do your laundry, and it's a starter home. So there was a lot of elements that I was able to put in this house, and I did use a lot of debug, especially for the landscaping. If you guys can see right now, I am adding some terrain paint because even though this is very deserty vibes, I do kind of like the feel of what some people normally do is they either put synthetic grass or they actually manage to actually grow these kinds of plants in the vast majority of the desert and stuff. And I've seen it happen. Really, I have seen this happen. It's crazy, but it happens. So I decided to go with kind of that, and I went crazy on the debug. Right now it's going to be like a little slow pace moment because I do add a lot of the landscaping that I did, mostly because when it came to building the inside and doing all the decorations, I kind of went pretty fast. It's mostly just getting the house, the outside, like the exterior of the house, with the feel of what I thought or the story that I made for this build in general. So the idea that I had for this is like the wallpaper that I use for most of the house is very like oldie kind of wallpaper. So I do like to think that the people bought this house, maybe they bought it at an auction and they decided to move in, and it's them and their child, and I haven't really decided what the child will be because, well, I haven't created the family yet, so I can't really tell you if what they are, but I did envision like a couple, and well, I did envision a couple, but I don't really know what their sexual orientation is, so I'll just leave it up for your imaginations for you guys to go along with the story of what I kind of came up with when I was doing this. I did see like a couple and they have a kid. I did kind of maybe think the kid was adopted, so they have little room for them and they have their own space, and they wanted a new house but they didn't have a lot of money to begin with. So what they did was they got this house in an auction, and they really loved it because the house was comfy, it was big enough for like all 3 of them, it had a lot of space, it had a wonderful space in like the front yard, and it was actually really pretty with all the landscaping. And like one of like the parents probably loved it even more because of the gardening, and they could maybe even take care of the plants that are growing not only on the sides and at the back of the house, but also in front of the house and make the house even homier than it looked like. So they decided to move in to Oasis Springs because of that. And they have clearly just adopted a child. I kind of like to think that it's not actually, well, I did change the desk, so it definitely is a child now, because I ended up changing the desk later on. Well, you guys will see that in the screenshots, because when I went in to play test it, I had to move some things around because some things were not really working out. So I did have to change it. You guys will see that afterwards in the screenshots. But this ends up being a child, and it does, like, they do have like their own little room with just like simple needs because they just moved in, so it's not a lot of things, you know, it's not a lot that they could actually do there yet, but they have a lot of playing space, you know, they can go out, they can go for a jog, they can do a lot of things. But for the house itself, it is literally play tested and foolproof, and it's one of the things that I really loved about this house was just the fact that it looked really cute. Even though I was on a budget, it still ended up looking really sweet and really cute. I do want to try and make like even more to the budget homes, and I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but I would definitely do that and just maybe do like an entire budget challenge where I have a limited amount of budget and that is what I have to make the entire house. So I did want to maybe add like to a let's play kind of something, you know, something like that. But you guys can tell me down below what you guys think, if you think that would be like a really good idea. If you guys heard that little bell sign, please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to comment down below and to subscribe to my channel to help this girly out and let us grow this community so more. And thank you guys for watching. So now we are on the living area. I do end up making this TV a little bit bigger because I don't know why, because you know I'm a 90s girl, I'm a millennial, and we did have this box TV, but our box TV was like huge. So I do size it up to make it bigger because I thought it was just too small, and the Sims that live here, you know, they really bought this house on a budget. They really do deserve a bigger TV, even though it is a bit of a cheaper one, but they still deserve like a bigger TV. So that's kind of what I did. Here I am doing the parents' room. I do end up changing a lot of things for the parents' room. I removed that dresser. I add the other ones that we get from, I think it's from the Dream Home Decorator, where we can actually add in some clothes into like these little open wardrobes. So I kind of do add that, not only to the parents' room but also to the kids' room. Afterwards, if I'm not mistaken, on the screenshots I do add a table in front of the window because I ended up adding a laptop near the counter in the kitchen, but as I went to play test it, first I don't know why it doesn't count as just a top, you know, a flat desk for your Sims to use the laptop, and it just said no. So the table that you guys are seeing me adding here to the child's room, I end up adding it to the parents' bedroom instead, and I add another desk, like a very cute little desk there, so the child can literally read and write and do their homework and, you know, have a little fun time. And after getting a little bit more into their finances, definitely getting some toys for that child. Here I'm just adding a little bit of clutter to this house. I was able to add some clutter, which I'm gonna cry because I'm so happy I added a little bit of clutter to this house and a lot of curtains. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I did, and I was so happy that that actually ended up happening. Here I am just fixing some things that I didn't do in the beginning, like doing the back garden. Well, I didn't really want to actually do a back garden for this house since I did have the idea that they just bought this in an auction, so it just came but the way they bought it, you know, like the way the old owners had it, with this little pot, this huge little piece of land with some plants in the backyard just growing there freely. So I kind of did want to do that, and I thought it actually ended up looking really cute, and I actually decided to change how I did the front yard, and this is how it ends up looking when you guys open the video. Because I changed the little... I don't really remember what this is called, but this thing that I put down and I add in all the plants on top of it. Because it's not a plant. Is it a planter? I don't know what it is, but I added it there, and it was one of the reasons I thought this build looked more fulfilled and prettier, because of these plants that I did in the plant, this little plant thing. I'm gonna call it a planter. It's probably not it, but yes, that's what I'm gonna call it. So I'm just adding a couple of final details to this build, and that is technically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the support, and I will catch you guys next week for more. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day, week, month, whenever you're watching this. Bye guys.